Hey everyone, welcome back to this new video series. I finally got my golf simulator set up and decided to play a practice round here. Course is North Berwick West Links. This is with GS Pro. My sensor is the Mevo Plus. I just got it a few months ago. It took me a while to get everything set up, but after a lot of trial and error, I think I got everything where I want it to be. So starting off here on a nice, easy par 4, 330 yards. Take my 5-iron out, just trying to get it out there, get in the middle of the fairway. Pretty happy with that result. A little bit short of where I wanted it to be, but any shot in the middle of the fairway with less than 150 in, I'm pretty happy with. Here, I just take my 9-iron and I'm just trying to put this in the middle of the green. But as you can see, it landed a couple yards from the pin, just missed a gimme. Pretty happy with that outcome. Thinking at this point, make the birdie putt, worst walk away with a par. But as you're going to find out through this video, my putting isn't exactly on point, not just in the simulator, but in real life as well. It's definitely a part of a game that I'm working on. So naturally, I just missed the par putt and ended up with 3-putt, starting off with a bogey. Next hole, par 4, about 430 yards. Taking the driver out. Again, trying to leave myself a reasonable distance into the tee. And I hit a pretty decent drive, a little bit left, but not going to complain about this drive. I think it ends up here just in the semi-rough, about 275 out, leave me 165 into the pin. I take out my 8-iron, push it a little bit to the right. I was growing right at the pin. So I think if it had landed in the fairway there, my distance would have been good. But leaves me with a chip shot, which unfortunately I thin, and it goes way past the hole, leaving myself a very difficult power putt. I consider that's the shot I messed up on there on this hole. If I would have put it right next to the pin, I could have easily saved par on this hole, but unfortunately I didn't. But hit a halfway decent putt into the gimme circle and walk away with another bogey. Next hole again, 463 yard par 4. Taking out the driver again, pushed it a little bit right. This happens to me when I hit my driver. Sometimes I push it. I like to hit a little bit of a baby draw when I hit my driver, but every once in a while I do push it. Leaving me with 213 here into the green. I believe on this hole I hit my 4-iron and again pushed it to the right into some trouble, into the deep rough. But use my lob wedge here and get it back, just missing the gimme circle and then the automatic par, leaving me with a tester here from about 6 feet, and I lip it out. So again, a bad shot to the right. After 3, I'm +3. Go on to the first par 3, 180 yards. I just hit this bad, hit it a little bit fat, came up short, hit a 7-iron there. So now I'm left with a little chip shot, which I thought would hit pretty well, but came up a little bit short of the gimme circle. So now I have a nice 8-foot putt for par. And once again, I missed the putt. So a bad chip and a couple missed putts that I would like to make, and I'm +4 after 4. So heading into the 5th hole, 370 yard par 4, take out the driver, push it a little bit to the right. End up rolling up in the cart path to give me a few extra yards, but it's going to leave me about 105 in. So I got my 50 degree in hand. In GS Pro, you hit right off the concrete. There's no drop. And I hit this one pretty well. Carried it 95, went about 100, 5 yards short, so I got about a 15, 16 foot putt here for birdie. But as you guys can imagine, I don't make it. Happy though that I got in the gimme circle and come away with my first par of the day. So leads us next to par 3, 172. I believe I took a 7-iron out here just to hit it nice and easy, hopefully land it right on the green, which I do. But still, lengthy putt. Going to be about a 36-foot putt here for birdie. So I lined it up and I thought I hit it pretty well, but it came up a little bit short. Judging, anytime it gets over like 30 feet on the simulator, it can be a little bit tricky, at least for me. Again, I'm using the Mevo Plus, and that's not the most accurate in terms of putting, but can't blame the equipment on that one. I just missed that putt, and again another 3 putt leads to another bogey. 6 holes, I'm 5 over. Another par 4, 370. Take out my driver again. A little bit shorter than my normal drive, but again 240 down the right side. It's in the rough, but 127 is a pretty good distance for me. That's a pitching wedge right there. And as you can see, I put it right on the green, and again leave myself with another reasonable birdie attempt here, hoping I can make this putt and get a stroke back. But if you've seen the theme of this video, that's not going to happen. The good news is I do get it in the gimme circle, not that far away, walk away with another par. Heading into the first par 5, I believe, 495. And this hole I was really trying to crush my drive. I really wanted to get to this green in 2, but I popped it up. And while I went straight, and can't complain about a drive in the fairway, only went about 210 yards, and leave me a very long shot in here. I believe I decided to lay up here with a 5-iron and just try to get it so I can hit my 50-degree into the hole. So I'm shooting for about 100 yards into the green. I accomplished that, but I hit it into the rough. Not the worst thing in the world, though. So I got my 50-degree in the hand. I've been pushing my 50-degree out to the right a little bit. Everything has this little bit of a fade to it with the 50-degree and my 54. But still, on the green in 3, again, putting for birdie. Looking to get a stroke back here. It hit the putt well, decent speed, just, again, didn't line it up properly. One of the things I think I gotta work on in this simulator is, do a better job understanding how my simulator here reads putts and adjusting for it. Back-to-back par 5s here, again, looking to crush the drive. Ended up pushing it a little bit out to the right. Not hit it where I wanted to go. I'm in the rough, about 300 yards. Again, I believe I have here a 5-iron. I'm just looking to put this thing back in the fairway and leave myself with 100 yards or so in to the green. And again, I do just that. So, it didn't hit the greatest drive there, just like on the last hole, but was able to recover. And since it's a par 5, you can do that. So again, my 50-degree in hand. Again, I pushed it out just a little bit, but managed to get it there on the green. It's rolling back towards the hole right now, which is great. Got about a 15, 16-foot putt here for birdie again. And once again, I thought I lined this up pretty well, but I just missed it. So again, can't complain about pars after 9 holes to be +5. Not mad about that considering how I got there. Kicked it off with a little par 3, pushed it a little bit to the right, but is going to hold on to the green and leave me with about a 30-foot putt for birdie. So again, at this point, I'm just looking to try to get it into the gimme circle. And I barely get it into the gimme circle, so I'm not going to complain about that. Number 11 here is a par 5, and I said before, my normal drive has a little bit of a baby draw, and I do that just here. Probably my best drive of the day. Great ball speed. Anything I make above 150, I'm pretty happy. Almost 290 with the carry and everything. Total length, so I'm happy about that. I'm going for the green in 2, but I just hit it off the heel and put it way left into the rough. But again, I take out my 50-degree. Don't hit it great, but I get a nice bounce there right onto the green. And once again, I'm putting for birdie here on a par 5. This is where everything starts to go off the rails. I hit this first putt way too hard. I knew it as soon as I hit it that it wasn't going anywhere near the gimme circle. So I just tapped this next putt, but it must have been a little bit more downhill than I thought. So I was pretty upset with myself for missing that putt. Hoping here to make it for a 3-putt, and this one comes up just short. So terrible 4-putt, double bogey on that hole. Again, should have been no worse than par, but my putting isn't exactly great. Hit another solid drive here, or at least I thought it was. Had a nice little draw to it, but everything just went a little bit further left than I was anticipating. Again, though, 130 to the pin. Not mad about that. I knew this ball was going to pull to the left. I didn't compensate for it when I swung. It was just a mental error here, and it cost me to go here on the fringe. However, this is very, very easy for me typically to get up and down from here. As you can see, I chipped it within the gimme circle. That's part of the game I try to practice a little bit more. Um, anyway, moving on to the 13th hole, a 365-yard par 4. I hit what I thought was a pretty great drive here. I just pushed everything out to the right. So once again, leaves me about 100 yards in here, but I hit this fat. Hit it right into my mat and came up short. Not that short, only about 10 yards short, but there's a giant wall in front of me that I have to chip over. And flop shots aren't the easiest on the simulator, but I managed to hit a halfway decent one here, leaving me with a reasonable putt at par, but just overcompensated a little bit to that hill and ended up with a bogey. Again, these makeable par and in some cases birdie putts are just killing me. It's a part of the game I need to work on a bit more. Hit another good drive on this hole. Right down the middle, right to the end of the fairway, just rolls here into the semi-rough. Leaves me with about 91 yards. This is a bit of an awkward distance for me because it's, either a heavy 54 degree or a light 50 degree. I believe here I went with a 54 degree and try to hit it. It's not bad. Leave me about 25 feet in here for birdie. So I line up the putt. This one I actually took a little bit of extra time to line up and mentally figure out my distance. Got it in the gimme circle, but was a little disappointed I didn't actually make that one. This one's a challenging little par 3, 200 yards. I believe I hit my 5-iron here and just pushed it a little bit out to the right. Didn't get a great kick there off the green. Leave me with a chip shot in. And like I said before, these are the type of shots I try and practice on the simulator a lot because they can help make or break a round. Hit a decent one there, put it within 8 feet or 9 feet. But once again, just can't hit the putt. Ended up with a bogey there. Again, another hole that, give myself an opportunity to do some scoring, and I just didn't. Here on the 16th, I hit, I think, what will be my last good drive of the day, right side of the fairway. Had a little bit of a fade on it. Typically, I like to draw. I also had to check to make sure I could clear that water, and I did. But left me 76 yards in. Again, this is 54 degree for me, which is what I believe I hit here. And again, I can't get mad. I feel like I've done this a handful of times today where I stuck my second or third shot within a couple yards of the pin. And in this case, I actually hit the putt. So it felt good to get a birdie there on 16 and get a stroke back. On 17, solid drive, but I pushed it too far to the right. I thought for a second it might go out of bounds, but it held. But it's a 420-yard par 4, and I still got another 176 in to go. I believe I hit a 7-iron here, and hit it pretty well. Like I said, I landed it. I believe it ends up with 6 yards to the pin, but it's a challenging birdie putt here. 18 feet. Been struggling with these all day. And again, I just misread it. I thought it was going to break a lot more than it did, and hit it a bit harder than I really should have. So I really want to make this putt. I don't want to get bogey here. I just gained a stroke back, and luckily I do. So it felt good to hit 2 good putts back to back on 16 and 17. Coming into the final hole, it's a short par 4, 280 yards. I was trying to drive the green. I pushed it to the right just a little bit. I think if I hit it straight, it would have been right on maybe the front edge of the green there. But it leaves me with a chip shot in. Again, a little bit further than I was expecting there. It rolled out a little bit more than I was hoping. But still a putt for birdie, even at 23 feet, is better than nothing. And it just barely stays in the gimme circle. So overall, I ended up 8 over, shot a 79. Again, felt like I could have gone a lot longer if I just practiced or made a few more putts or hit a few more chip shots a little bit closer. But overall, I was happy with my game that day, and I know I need to work on. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Look out for more content.